go after these?
Well, it's not a question of bonuses. We believe in a progressive tax system. There's people making $1 million should pay more taxes proportionally even than people making $20,000. And because people making $1 million have more ability to pay taxes after they take care of necessities like food and shelter and clothing than people making $20,000. That's why you have a higher income tax rate for higher income people than for lower income people. And we believe in that. Now, if New York, for example, happens to have a higher percentage of people making $1 million than someplace else, there's nothing wrong with saying that those people are going to be taxed that way. And it is wrong then to say that, well, this is hurting New York. It's not hurting New York. We are lucky that we have more rich people, but we have to tax rich people more heavily than not so rich people.
So do you agree with the mayor's general assessment that Wall Street's being picked on?
No, I don't believe that Wall Street's being picked on. It hasn't been picked on. Some people are talking about some things that some people might characterize as picked on, but it hasn't happened yet, and it may not happen. Probably won't, in fact. I do think, and I agree with Joe, with Congressman Serrano, as he said a few minutes ago, we have to much more sharply regulate Wall Street to make sure that the catastrophe that improper speculation and risk-taking on Wall Street brought upon us, and we're all suffering from it, doesn't happen again. And that regulation will be opposed by some of the people on Wall Street because nobody likes regulation. Nobody likes their own freedom of action inhibited. But it's essential that we do that. And some of that may take the form of financial incentives or penalties.
And I think where Wall Street is going to use lobbying power is exactly in that area, in the regulations, because that they can get the public perhaps not to understand. But if they start yapping about being taxed, and then the newspapers tell them and the media tells them how much they make, Mrs. Rivera and Mr. Smith are not going to be sympathetic. So I think where they're going to lobby is to stop regulations that in fact will not allow them to do what they did in the past. And it's still going on. Look, the Securities Exchange Commission still comes to us and is telling us about all the problems that they're having where other folks were not telling the truth in recent years, in recent months. I'll give you an example of something that happened to me. On 3 different budget occasions, I bring the Securities Exchange Commission before me. You never have a government agency that says we don't want any more money. During the last administration, and I hate to say it this way, during the last administration, the SEC would say to us, we don't want any more money. We don't want it. They actually wanted less people to do the oversight.
Because they were so successful at finding Bernie Madoff and other frauds.
It's amazing. It was really a meltdown. They did not want to look over anybody's shoulder. So what you're going to see from Don, from Barney Franks, from my subcommittee and so on, is not over-regulating, but guys, you can't pull that off again. You got to tell us how you're running this economy, because on you so much rise, you can't do this again.
There's one other thing that I think should be said, and the distinction is not made very, very often. Wall Street, meaning the financial industry, plays an absolutely essential role in this economy in 2 things, and a harmful role in 1 thing. The essential roles are, first of all, in distributing funds to startups, in distributing capital to ventures that need capital, in matching firms that need money and have a good business plan with sources of funds. That's an essential role for our economy to grow. Second, in providing credit, also essential. We're having a problem there now, but that's an essential function. Third function is acting as a gambling casino. And that they've done to a great extent, and that's harmful because it's extremely risky. It caused the economy to go over a cliff. And we have to look for methods of regulation that will help capital accumulation and capital allocation to worthy businesses, will help extension of credits, and will rein in the gambling casino aspect of Wall Street.
You folks did not ask the most important question of the mayor.
What's that?
What's the effect on the Puerto Rican parade of cutting it by 25%? The route. And I'm serious on this.
Yeah.
The northern part of the parade is where the people from the Bronx come, and some folks from Queens. So when you start marching, and I march every year the full route, the lower part of the parade has less crowds than the northern part of the parade. So if you cut there, you think you have 10 deep now, you're going to have 12 deep on the lower part of the parade.
It goes up to 86?
It goes to 86. So if you cut 25%, what, it'll be
72nd or something.
Something like that. That means that people from 72nd to 86, which are huge crowds, as you well know, will come and bunch up the other side. That is only for the largest parade in the country, but for other parades it may not be affected.
Are the bonuses particularly vulnerable to taxing by Washington?
anything that has to do with dollars are vulnerable to taxing by Washington. So the answer is yes. But as I said before, if we tax that fairly, or we tax it appropriately, it's going to be tough for Wall Street to say don't do that, because that everybody understands. Right? So let them be taxed. On the regulations, we're going to lobby very strongly.
Thank you very much. Thanks for taking
You're
the
welcome.
time.